here's what I hear from this right now. The stories that we make up, the narrative that we personally make up in our heads is totally false, right?
It's just fake.
It's just fake. When I see, like, hear you say, oh, everyone walks in, there's everybody. But when I saw you, I was kind of like, fuck, Emerson's gonna get it. Like, look, great looking guy. Like, here he goes. Like, right? And it's one of those things. And you said something before about it being about the zero sum world, right? About the zero sum. And I think the thing about that was so interesting is if you don't know what a zero sum is out there, look it up, Google it. It's a great term, but it's basically if I win, you lose, that whole thing. But the turning point for me that I don't remember the AT&T orgasmic commercial, but I remember it probably was you walking up and just saying, hey, great job on Bosch. I remember you saying, like something very, like, and I thought to myself, like, that was so amazing because not too many people have, like, who we've seen for years. And I felt like at that moment, something shift for me that, like, I have been doing this all wrong. These people that God, the universe, source, energy, whatever you believe in, they have put you in, this person is in your life and you're thinking they're competition, but they're really your friend, right?
And that's why I was able to say that to you, because that's where I was getting in life, or maybe had gotten there a little. I'm just,
you got there earlier.
No, not necessarily. It's like, it's a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just know that I wouldn't have been able to say that to someone that I directly compete with and didn't really know, a decade ago, right? 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able. I feel like I'd be giving something away. Because my first thought was, why didn't I have that job?
Wow.
So I walked into scenarios with, why didn't I book more? I don't know, because I walked into scenarios with senses of I don't know, what's the term I'm looking for? Like, you can do all the prep you want. You can be totally ready to do some work. And then you walk into an audition room and you see other people and you recognize, there's Bob. He was on that TV show the other day that I read for, we both read for. And there's DaJuan, he was a good commercial and all this. And at that point, everything shifted. You now have this attitude of like, you've taken from me. You know what I'm saying? That belongs to me. This attitude of entitlement, rather than seeing people like, oh my God, this is great. These people are working. Hopefully they work more, so they're not in here. So I could book the job, but I should be happy for them. But I feel entitled when I walk in here that I should have had that. That I look at you instead of thinking good work and thinking, I wonder what he did to book that. I wonder what his read was like. I'm curious of what they were looking for. I'm curious about the process. My initial thought was, how did he beat me? How did he beat me out of something I should have had?
Yeah.
And at that point, you shut down. You shut everything off. You shut off being open and available and vulnerable and interested. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really want to know how you beat me, because obviously I don't think you beat me. I think it was a fluke and something's just happening. You know what I'm saying? If I really thought you did this thing, I would come curious. I'm like, or I should have been. It was a very poor attitude. And I regret it. It's one of the things that I don't know if I necessarily regret. It's a process, but I would say to younger actors who find themselves to be competitive and like I was, is to understand it's not a competition. It's a very, very long road. There's plenty on the table for everyone who comes prepared to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Whew, that's a big one. A lot of people didn't catch what you just said. Comes prepared to eat. Not just comes to eat. Not just comes to eat. Comes prepared to eat. I just want to make sure I saw that was a quick nugget you dropped down.